I'm Billy Brown Olive. Now, not many people know my middle name, but that's it. It's Billy Brown Olive. And in business, I've always used the name BB Olive, and many people call me BB. They don't know what else to call me. So, what was Durham like? Well, it had cars. It had T model Fords and it had A model Fords. There were still quite a few wagons, horse and wagons. We still had some horse-drawn fire equipment in Durham in 1923. I'm rather sure we did. We had all of our vegetables delivered by horse and wagon, and they would come to the community, and usually the housewife would pick out what they wanted for food, and that was the food for the day. And then the horse and wagon would come back the next day, and you'd go out and pick out more food, and so there was still a bit of a rural aspect to Durham, and that changed very rapidly. We played with each other, and the parents didn't have a whole lot of fear about the child getting run over, out in the street or something, because they usually had plenty of room to play. A neighbor friend of mine and we left to do camping. And an interesting aspect of this story is the fact that our parents trusted us enough that they allowed us to go camping. And this means walking maybe 2 or 3 miles or so through the woods and the pastures and so forth to get to where we're going to camp. This particular day we went camping, and we decided, for better or worse, and it was worse as it turned out, but anyway, we slept on a rock, and all that we carried in camping gear, we didn't have any of these fancy backpacks, those kind of things that people load themselves up with today if they want to go camping. Well, this particular night, we were sleeping away and it started raining. And this rock that we slept on was just right across from Brown's store, the Hollow Rock store, run by Mr. Brown. Well, I don't know what time it was, but at night, but maybe 2 o'clock in the morning or something. It was really pouring down, and we had to do something. We were trying to cover ourselves up with the raincoat, and so we finally mustered up enough nerve to go and knock on the door of Hollow Rock store. And this particular time, Mr. Brown, who ran this store, was actually sleeping in the store as well. So we knocked on his door and he was kind enough to let us into the store, and we actually slept on the floor of the store and heard the mice, running back and forth and that sort of thing. But that's where we slept for that night, and made it through the night. And of course, we're grateful to Mr. Brown. One of the biggest challenges that we face is simply learning how to better share this land. But I think we've really got to work at educating children and inculcating a feeling of love for the land. That's got to be a constant challenge for all of us. have a teacher that's an inspiration for not rushing, but taking time to reflect. Not all teachers are of that kind, you know, but I think it really is needed. I think every generation is going to have to treat the environment in a different way, you know. It's going to be constantly changing, and I guess it's terribly important that we all recognize that change is inevitable. Try to see what protection is needed and to work towards that end. It's not an easy task.